no problem. Okay, hydraulics and pneumatics laboratory. So in today's class, so I am going to cover some of the basics. Okay, I will complete pneumatics part, then we move on to hydraulics. Okay, in online classes we will cover the theoretical aspects. Then I think from 16 onwards, contact classes will be conducted. Okay, during that time, so you will come to lab and you are going to execute these circuits. So pneumatics is all about using compressed air to make a process happens. In case of hydraulics, fluids are used. Okay. Then when it comes to application, when you prefer hydraulics and when do you prefer pneumatics? What is the criteria for choosing hydraulics or pneumatics? ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ನ್ಯೂಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ? Okay, so you have seen many earth movers like cranes, okay, or JCBs. Okay, so JCB is a company, but you have seen that earth mover. Okay, which is misused, whether make use of hydraulic. If you consider crane ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, hydraulics ಇರುತ್ತೆ pneumatics?
Hydraulics.
Why you cannot have a pneumatic system for a crane? What is the reason?
Sir, a large amount of force will require.
Okay, as Krishna has told and Mahendra has identified. Okay, when load is high, then hydraulics is used. For light load applications, pneumatic systems are used. In case of crane, you know, it has to lift large quantity of load. It may be in terms of tons. Okay, that amount of load you cannot lift using a pneumatic system. Hydraulics is for high load applications, whereas pneumatic is for low load applications. Okay, so that is the major criteria for choosing whether hydraulics or pneumatics. There are other considerations that we will discuss or we will realize later. Okay, so the basic difference is about pneumatics and hydraulics is working fluid. Okay, in case of pneumatics it is air, in case of hydraulics it is oil. Okay, or liquid you can consider. Advantages of pneumatics: availability. Since air is the working fluid, so availability of air is, you know, so abundantly it is air is abundantly available. Okay, so transportation of air compared to fluid or compared to liquid, okay, so or oil, it is easy. Storage is also easy. If there is leakage of air, no problem. Okay, it is not hazardous. Cleanliness, since it is air, okay, so if there is leakage, air will be released to atmosphere, no problem regarding cleanliness. Whereas in case of oil, if there is leakage of oil, then there is a issue related to maintaining cleanliness. Then components, compared to hydraulics components, pneumatics components are simple in construction. Okay, speed, okay, so you can get better pneumatic. Overload compressor, you can fix a particular pressure value. Okay, like 4 bar pressure, 8 bar pressure. Okay, when you have switched on the compressor, if the pressure exceeds that value, okay, automatically compressor will get switched off. That means you can have overload safety systems. Automatically compressor is going to get switched off if it reaches a particular pressure value. Okay, so that is the advantage of pneumatic systems. So compared to hydraulic systems, pneumatic systems are safer. Advantages: preparation. Okay, so even though air is abundantly available in the atmosphere, can you directly use that air as it is for pneumatic applications, or you need to make some preparation? No. So atmospheric air na direct use ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ pneumatic systems ಅಲ್ಲಿ? What are the things?
sir.
What are the things
Sir.
need to be done? ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು?
Sir, using compressors.
Compress.
Okay, so using compressor, first thing is you have to increase the pressure. Okay, you have to compress the air so that it is possible for you to get high pressure. Okay, that is one thing. Then, so you have to remove impurities. Then you have to remove moisture content. Okay, that means you have to do some addition. You cannot use the atmospheric. Okay, so you have to remove moisture content in the air. So that is called preparation. Preparation of air is required. That is a disadvantage. Again, compression force requirement. Again, there is a limitation for force requirement. You cannot use pneumatic systems for high load applications. Again, noise level. That is the problem with pneumatics. If there is, if you don't connect the hoses or pipes properly, then there will be noise. Okay, so that is the disadvantage with pneumatic systems. Next, pneumatic components can perform the following types of motion: linear, swivel, rotary. Okay, so this type of motions you can achieve using pneumatic systems. For linear, we use cylinder. Okay, for swivel and rotary, we make use of motors. Application: clamping, shifting, positioning, orienting, packing, feeding, door or chute control, transfer of materials, turning and inverting of parts, sorting of parts, stamping of components. Okay, these are some of the applications. There are n number of applications for pneumatics. Okay, and even you can do your project work based on pneumatic systems. Okay, so there is a, you can make use of pneumatic facility available in our college. Okay, in automation lab, you have electro-pneumatics kit. Even though we don't use that for lab purpose, if you want to do your academic project, final year project, if you are working on electro-pneumatic system, you can make use of the facility. PLC kits are available, electro-pneumatic kits are available. Okay, so if you are interested, you can do projects. Even one of the tech students by using this in the itself. Okay, it designed and fabricated automated sheet metal forming tool. Okay, so I will show video in one of the upcoming class where it is required. Okay, so similarly you can do projects based on electro-pneumatics. Basic requirements: it is essential for proper and effective operation in all pneumatic systems that air supplied must be clean, dry, oil free. Okay, so that's why these are part of preparing the air. You have to clean, dry, and it should be oil free, or it should be free from moisture content. Equipment to be considered in the generation, preparation, and distribution of air includes compressor. So it takes air at low pressure and delivers it at high pressure. Okay, so we will compress air. That means we will increase the air by using compressor. Next, receiver. It is for sorting and maintaining constant pressure of the compressed air. Okay, depending on the application. For few applications, you may require 3 bar pressure. For few applications, you may pressure at 8 using receiver. Okay, so then filter. It is for filtering impurities. Dryer. Depending on the application of the compressed air, dryers may be used for necessary dehydration of the air. Lubricator to provide lubrication for sliding parts in pneumatic components. It depends on the application. Okay, so even pneumatic systems are used in CMM, coordinate measuring machines. Okay, pressure regulator to reduce the primary pressure to the most suitable value. Next, components. Okay, supply elements. These are the sources of power that drives the system. Example, compressor. So they will supply the air. Okay, so that is why it is called as supply elements. Input elements. These elements are used to send signals to the final control elements. Okay, which are the final control elements? Okay, at the end, which components you can see in a pneumatic system at the end? Okay, you can find cylinders or motors. Okay, so they are
Regulator.
the actuator. Okay, or you can say actuators in general. Okay, cylinders are also one type of actuators. Okay, actuators are the final control elements. Okay, input elements are push buttons, limit switches, proximity sensors. So these are used to actuate direction control valves. Okay, input means input signal. In hand, your fingers. So you will operate the direction control valve. Okay, so that is the mechanical actuation. Or if it is an electro-pneumatic system, you use solenoid valve by using that will make use of a electric signal. Okay, so these are the input elements. So they will actuate the valves like push buttons, limit switches, proximity sensors. Processing elements, these elements process input signals before sending the signal to the final control elements. So examples are various types of valves, non-return valves, direction control valves, pressure control valves and flow control valves. Okay, all this comes under processing elements. Okay, these processing elements are in between input and the output. That means control elements and input elements. You are going to these processing elements will receive input from push buttons, limit switches and proximity sensors. Okay, and then the outputs of these valves are used by actuators, that is cylinder. In our lab we use cylinder as actuator. Power elements, so these are the outputs, or you can consider it as final control elements or power elements. These are the outputs of the pneumatic system which use the stored potential energy to perform a certain task such as pneumatic cylinders and motors. Okay, so this is the air reservoir, nothing but compressor. Okay, this is the air service unit. Okay, so filter, receiver, okay, lubricator, all these are part of air service unit, or we generally we call it as FRL unit. Valves, direction control valves. Okay, so this entire lab course is dependent on this direction control valve. In almost all circuits you find direction control valve. Okay, and without understanding how a direction control valve will work, that means how the positions will get shifted when a direction control valve receives signal, you cannot understand or you cannot analyze any of the circuit. That's why to know how easy. Okay, almost 50% of your work related to understanding a pneumatic or hydraulic circuit will ends if you understand how a direction control valve work properly. So your job will be very easy. If you don't understand, so then it is not possible to understand any of the circuit. Okay, so this is the prerequisite or primary basic requirement to analyze any of the hydraulic or pneumatic circuit. That's why you have to focus more on working principle of direction control valve. Okay. So direction control valves, this type of valves control the passage of air signals by generating, cancelling or redirecting signals. Each valve is described by two parameters. Okay, usually we say okay, so 2 by 2, 3 by 2, 4 by 3, 5 by 2 DCV, direction control valve. So what do you mean by this? If it is a 3 by 2, what do you mean by 3, that is numerator, and what do you mean by 2, denominator? What does this represent? Okay, this is, I think you are already aware of these things. Okay, so when describing a direction control valve, we use we'll say like this. Okay, 3 by 2 direction control valve. For example, if it is a 3 by 2 direction control valve, what does that 3 indicates, or what does that describe? 3. If it is a 3 by 2 direction control valve, 3 will represent which one? Number of ports or number of positions? What does 3 represent? describe. 3/2 valve ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Number of ports or number of positions? Which one?
Ports.
Okay, so 3 is number of ports. 2 is number of position. Okay, so this you should remember. Numerator, number of ports. Denominator, number of positions. If it is a 5/2 direction control valve, 5 represents number of ports. Okay, 2 represents number of positions. If it is a 4/3 direction control valve, 4 is the number of ports and 3 is the number of positions. Okay, this you should remember. Okay, number of ports, number of inlets and outlets of the valve, number of positions, that will be represented in terms of squares in the symbol. Okay, number of chambers or number of squares. Okay, so you can understand that here. So if you consider this one, okay, so if you consider this one, okay, so first one, this is a 2/2 direction control valve. Okay, so it is having 2 ports. Okay, this 2 represent 2 ports. Denominator represents position. Okay, so there's a spelling mistake. Okay, so it is denominator is position. Okay, so here you can see positions are represented in the symbol of the DCV as square. This is one position and this is another position. Okay, next if you consider 3/2, so that means 3 ports and 2 positions. This is one position and this is another position. Okay, if you consider again 3/2, okay, so 2 positions and 3 ports. So here it is 4/2, 4 ports, 2 positions. Again it is 5/2, okay, 5 ports, 2 positions. That means 2 square boxes. One square box will represent one position. Okay, next 5/3. So there are 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 positions, 5 ports. Okay, so this is the primary thing related to describing a direction control valve. Number of ports and number of positions. Okay, these positions may be open, close or neutral. Okay, or we can say tandem center. Okay, so these are the positions. And whenever we are describing any direction control valve, we use another term, normally open and normally close. Okay, so here also if you can observe these two, this one. Okay, this is normally closed 3/2 direction control valve. Okay, what do you mean by normally closed direction control valve? ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ 3/2 ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಅದು? Okay, for some cases a valve is described as normally open 3/2 direction control valve. What do you mean by normally closed and normally open? When do you say a valve is in open condition? When do you say a valve is in closed condition? Okay, at off condition the valve is closed, then normally closed. Okay, similarly vice versa, at off condition if the valve is open, then it is normally open. That means without actuation, if the valve is already in closed position, so that is the normally closed valve. Without actuation, that is without sending any signal, it may be mechanical signal or it may be electric signal or it may be a pneumatic signal. Okay, but if it is already in open condition, that is a normally open valve. Okay, without actuation or without sending any signal, if the valve is already closed, that is the normally closed valve. Okay, here you can observe. So this is a normally closed valve without any actuation. The initial position of the valve itself is like that. There is a contact between 2 and 3. That means air pass from without any is no connection between pressure port, that is 1, and working port. Okay, so that is called as normally closed. Pressure ಮತ್ತೆ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿತ್ ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗಲೂ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as closed. Okay, so if there is a connection between, if there is a contact or if there is a passage for movement of air between pressure port and working port, that is called as open, normally open. Okay, here you can see 1 is the pressure port, 2 is the working port, and 3 is the release, that means exhaust port. Okay, here there is no contact between 1 and 2 in the initial position. Okay, when you press a push button or when you give a signal, when position shifts, then there will be a contact between 1 and 2. Okay, so initial ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ 2 and 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ 1 ಮತ್ತು 2 ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ 3/2 ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ನೀವು ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ 1 and 2. 1 and 2 ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಓಪನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ 1 and 2 ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ 3/2 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್. Similarly, here you can see already without any actuation there is a contact between 1 and 2. So already nodi if you send air through 1, it will pass through 2 without any actuation. Okay, so that is the normally open condition. Next, 4/2 valve. And another thing what you should know is how valves are numbered. Okay, since we are following ISO system, we should know how to number a valve. So for inlet port, okay, so generally we consider inlet and outlet port normally. Okay, but again in inlet ports you can consider inlet ports as pressure ports, working ports. Outlet ports are nothing but their release are exhaust ports. Outlet ports are represented by 3, okay, and 5. So 3 and 5 are used to represent exhaust ports or outlet ports or release ports. Okay, 1 is always used to represent pressure port, from where you will supply air from the compressor to manifold block to directly to 1. Okay, next 2 and 4 are working ports. Okay, so this you should know. Okay, so here if you consider 2/2, 1 is pressure port, 2 is the working port, erade port ide illi. So in case of 3/2, 1 is pressure port, 2 is working port, and 3 is the release port. Okay, in old system letters were used, so no need to worry about these letters. That is the old system. In ISO we use number. ನೀವು ನಂಬರ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. But in some of the circuits you may in okay, they were okay, but now for your lab course, if you remember this number, that is sufficient. Okay, we always use 1 for pressure port, 2 and 4 for working ports, and 3 and 5 for exhaust ports. And again it depends on the how many ports. Okay, so 3 port iddaga ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 5 ports ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That also you should concentrate. ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ 5 ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 3 ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 4 ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅನಲೈಸ್ and you should understand. Okay, I will share PPT later, go through this. Okay, and if you get any doubts, you can clarify in the next class. Okay, next, if you consider 5x2 direction control valve, there are 5 ports. Okay, one is the inlet pressure port, 2 and 4 are working ports. Okay, so ಇವಾಗ 5x2 ಇದ್ದಾಗ so we use 2 and 4. Okay, so if it is a 3x2, we use only 2, only one working port. If it is 4x2, there are 2 working ports, one inlet and one release. Okay, in case of 5x2, one pressure port, 2 working ports and 2 exhaust or release ports. Okay, so that you should remember. Okay, so and next, in case of 5x3, there are 3 positions. Okay, so these are the 2 positions and this is another position. Another position is the tandem center or neutral position. Okay, so here also there are 5 ports. One is pressure, 2 and 4 are working ports, 5 and 3 are release or exhaust ports. Okay, so if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask. So if you don't have any doubts, I will move on to next slide. Okay, next, actuation of direction control valve. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್. ಆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ನ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಟಚಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪುಷ್ ಬಟನ್ you can send a signal, that is mechanical actuation, by using your hand. Okay, so you are going to press push button, or if it is a knob like button, okay, so you can rotate the knob and you can actuate the valve. Okay, so ನೀವು ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ, so we consider that as a mechanical actuation. Similarly, you can achieve mechanical actuation by other means. By using roller operated, you can make a piston to move forward and you can actuate a roller operated valve. There are that is also another possibility. Okay, physically, if you are applying pressure on the knob or on the push button and you are operating, that is mechanical actuation. Type of actuation, solenoid valve, electric signal, and you can actuate a valve. Other than that, there's another possibility. Even by sending a air signal, air, just passing air, you can actuate a valve. Okay, so that is considered as pilot operated. In case of pilot operated or pneumatic actuated valves, by sending air itself, we can actuate a valve. 3 possibilities: mechanical actuation, electric actuation, and pneumatic actuation. Okay, so here you can see the different types. In case of manual operation, okay, we use our hand. Okay, so this is the general manual actuation. If it is specific, push button. In our lab, okay, most of the direction control valves are push button operated. You have to use your hand, you have to press it. Okay, then even you can achieve actuation with the help of lever. By rotating the lever, you can actuate a valve. There is another called dented lever. Dented lever is like key. Okay, rotate ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as dented. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನೀವು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ until you unlock it, so that will be in actuated position. Whereas in case of push button ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪುಷ್ ಬಟನ್ ನ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋವರೆಗೂ ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಕೈ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ it will come back to initial position if it is a spring return valve. So but dented lever andre, so it is like a key, lock ಮಾಡಬಹುದು unlock ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, that is the dented lever. Okay, so in case of normally push button press ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. In case of dented lever ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನೀವು ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದೇ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so it will be actuated. So next, foot pedal actuation. By foot also you can operate, but we don't use this in lab. Okay, roller lever actuation, we use this roller lever actuation in 2 or 3 circuits. We make use of it. In case of roller lever actuation, when the movement of the piston itself is going to actuate a valve. So a piston ge roller touch agattara, we will place the valve in the circuit. Piston movement adaga roller na adu push ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So atho roller touch ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆವಾಗ valve get actuated. Okay, that is the roller operated. You will understand when you are executing the circuits in lab. Okay, so idle return roller actuation, this we don't use in our lab. Okay, spring actuation we don't use. Direct pneumatic actuation we use it. Okay, so that means by sending a air signal you can actuate a valve, that is pneumatic actuation. Okay, so another type of actuation is electric actuation, but since we don't cover electropneumatics in our lab, we don't use solenoid valves. Okay, so that's why I am not covering that topic. Okay, next, this is very important. You should know how a direction control valve works, and you should always refer to this slide in future also. You should always refer to this slide to understand how a direction control valve works. Okay, so in this example, we are considering a 3x2 direction control valve. Okay, so this is a 3x2 direction control valve. So whether it is normally closed or open, so here there is a contact between 2 and 3. Okay, so ನಾನು ಏನು ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ 2 and 3 ಮಧ್ಯೆ, ಸೊ there is a contact. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಓಪನ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ 2/3 ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ if you don't actuate also, so there is contact between 2 and 3. This is a normally closed valve. Okay, so next, normally closed position alli, this is the inside structure of the valve. Valve ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ತರ arrangement ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, this is the spool or plunger. These are the chambers. Position illi. Okay, so this is the in case of normally closed 3x2 wave valve, this is the initial position of the plunger. ನೀವೇನು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, valve normal ಆಗಿ ಈ position ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Now observe whether there is a path for movement of air. Okay, so this is chamber of port 1, this is chamber of port 2, and this is chamber of port 3. Okay, now by looking at this position, is it possible for the passage of air from 1 to 2? Is it possible? ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ here you can observe, because of this current position of the plunger or spool, ಅದು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 to 2. ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಾಸ್ 2 to 3 ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಓಪನ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 2 to 3 ಏರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಮೂವ್. ಸೊ 2 ಇಂದ 3ಗೆ it is possible for the movement of air. There is a path for passage of air from 2 to 3, whereas 1 to 2 ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್, it may be by sending a mechanical, electrical, pneumatic, okay, any type of signal. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಲಂಜರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಈ ಸ್ಪೂಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೆಟ್ getting opened. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆದಾಗ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದೆನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 to 2 get created. There will be a path for movement of air from 1 to 2. This is possible when this plunger move downwards. When the plunger will move downwards, when the valve get actuated, the plunger will move downwards. That will result in creation of a path between 1 and 2. Okay, when there's a path for movement of air from 1 and 2, then air will move from 1 to 2. This is how directional control valve will work. Again, if you stop sending signal, if you take back the signal, then once again this plunger will move upwards. When this plunger or spool move upwards, once again this path get blocked. Avag 1 ಇಂದ 2 ಗೆ air move ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ಇಂದ 3 ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಸಿ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಫಾರ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 to 2, ಬಟ್ 2 ಇಂದ 3 ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೂಲ್ ಈ ಪಾತ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಇದು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ 2 to 3ಗೆ ಏರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 2 to 3. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಸೊ it has been closed. So that's why it is not possible for the movement of air from 2 to 3. Okay, so this is how a directional control valve will work, and this is very important. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಚುಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಪ್ಲಂಜರ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲಂಜರ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪೂಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಸೊ 1 to 2 ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ 2 to 3ಗೆ ಏರ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ directional control valve, and it is very important. So if you have move on slide. Okay, so these are the actual valves used in our lab. Okay, so this is the mechanical actuation. By pressing this you can actuate. This is the dented lever. Dented lever ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾಬ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. By rotating this knob you can lock and unlock. That is the difference between ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪುಷ್ ಬಟನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಲಿವರ್. ಡೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಲಿವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನೀವು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೇ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ನ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ these are the different types of non-return valves. Check valve, spring-loaded check valve. In most of the circuits, we use check valve. Okay, allows flow in one direction and blocks flow in the other direction. When air flows from this direction, okay, so this balloon will move towards right, or puppet will move towards right, and air can move air freely. Okay, other bottle, suppose if the air is passed from this direction, then this puppet will move towards left and it will block this path. So ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ air move ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಾಗ so air will push this puppet towards rightwards and air can pass further. Okay, so ಈ valve ಅಲ್ಲಿ air can move in this direction towards right, air can pass. ರೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಲೆಫ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಪಪೆಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಲೋಡೆಡ್ ಚೆಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋಡ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ತರ ಇದು, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಲೋಡೆಡ್ ಚೆಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 2 signals, okay, and we want to get R. So R, you know, ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಆರ್ ಗೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಮಹೇಂದ್ರ ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಗೇಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು?
ಸರ್ 1 ಇನ್ಪುಟ್.
ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಂಡ್ ಗೇಟ್
Sir, 2.
2. Okay. Similarly, we can get AND gate, AND logic or OR logic by using certain valves. Okay. So here, if you want to execute the OR logic, you can use this shuttle valve. Shuttle valve ಯಾವ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you have 2 inputs. ನಿಮಗೆ 2 inputs ಇದೆ, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು input ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ you can get output by using the shuttle or OR valve. Okay, when any one of the input is given, the output is produced. Suppose if input on the left hand side is present, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ air ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅವಾಗ this shuttle will be move towards right extreme position, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So then air can move through this path. If air is supplied from this right side, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ air pass ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ puppet ನ left extreme position ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So air can move like this further. Okay. Next, AND valve. So another name for this AND valve is twin pressure or dual pressure valve. Okay, when both inputs are present, then only you will get output. Okay, ಎರಡು input present ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ, so the valve will be in this position. Then air can freely move further. ಇದು ಎರಡರ ಬದಲು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, if suppose okay air is applied only from left hand side from here, so that will push the puppet towards right. ಇದು ರೈಟಿಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ವಿನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್, ಎರಡು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದಿ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ಓಕೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್. ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರ್ ಟು ಕಾಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್, ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ which is having larger diameter, larger opening. Larger opening of the port in ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it is possible for you to remove large quantity of air in very quick time. So ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, you are able to achieve rapid extension or rapid retraction stroke of cylinder or of piston. Okay, so that is the quick exhaust valve. If you want to get rapid extension or rapid retraction, you make use of this quick exhaust valve. So this is the dual or twin pressure valve. In some of the circuits we make use of this, and this valve is in the pneumatic kit in our college. You can see when you are executing. Okay. Next, flow control valves. In flow control valves there are two types: unidirectional and bidirectional. Unidirection means single direction. It will regulate the flow in only one direction, that is unidirectional flow control valve. Bidirectional means it will regulate in both directions. So this is the example of bidirectional. Ikadeinda hodrunu you can regulate, ikadeinda bandrunu you can regulate. Okay, it to allow controlled flow. Whereas in case of one way, so illenagutte andre, because of this it can regulate flow only in one direction. Okay, so it can regulate flow only in this direction. Okay, so the reason is, so when flow is when air is applied from this direction, the air can pass through this line also. Okay, so illenara flow regulate agidre air aramagi ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ puppet right side move ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, then there will be opening, air will pass easily in this direction. But ಅದೇ ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕಳಿಸಿದಾಗ, so air cannot escape through this path. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ puppet will move towards left and it will block the path for movement of air. That's why air has to flow through the flow control valve only. ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಾಗ. Okay, so that means you are regulating flow only in this direction using this. ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಫ್ಲೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಪಾತ್ ಇಂದ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಯೂನಿಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ ಟು ಅಲೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಇನ್ ಒನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಫ್ಲೋ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ actuators. Motors and cylinders are examples of actuators. Okay, So there are two types of cylinders, single acting and double acting. We use both type of cylinders in our lab. Okay, single acting cylinders one a single acting port. This is the example. Here you can see there is only one port. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದು port ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That is single acting. Whereas in case of double acting, so you can see two ports. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಎರಡು ಇದೆ. So and you have to supply air to both ends for the working of double acting cylinder. Whereas for single acting cylinder, if you supply air from only one end, that is sufficient for the operation of the single acting cylinder. And single acting cylinders are always spring return. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ಏರ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ರಿಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ. Okay, so in case of single acting cylinder, retraction stroke of the cylinder takes place automatically because of the spring. Spring ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, immediately it will retract. Okay, so ಅದ ರೀತಿ it will work. In case of double acting cylinder, for extension stroke also you have to supply air to the cylinder. So if you supply air from this end, there will be extension stroke. If you supply air from this end, there will be retraction stroke. Okay, so this is the double acting cylinder. Okay, these are the references. For this presentation I referred websites and our college